Good morning, 6th grade. Welcome to Bible video today. We are going to be in the book of Judges. Moving right along from the book of Joshua, here comes Judges. And we are going to be reading chapters 13 and 14. So if you want to follow along, go ahead and open up. If you just want to listen, that's good too. So, we're going to learn about Samson. Samuel is our author of the book of Judges, and so here we have an account of Samson. Here we go. Again, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, so the Lord delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. We know the Philistines, they're bad. A certain man of Zorah named Manoah from the clan of the Danites had a wife who was sterile and remained childless. The angel of the Lord appeared to her and said, "You are sterile and childless, but you are going to conceive and have a son." We've heard that a lot of times in the Bible so far. Now see to it that you drink no wine or other fermented drink, and that you do not eat anything unclean, because you will conceive and give birth to a son. No razor may be used on his head, because the boy is to be a Nazarite, set apart to God from birth, and he will begin the deliverance of Israel from the hands of the Philistines. Then the woman went to her husband and told him, "A man of God came to me. He looked like an angel of God, very awesome. I didn't ask him where he came from, and he didn't tell me his name. But he said to me, 'You will conceive and give birth to a son. Now then, drink no wine or other fermented drink, and do not eat anything unclean, because the boy will be a Nazarite of God from birth until the day of his death.' Then Manoah prayed to the Lord, 'O Lord, I beg you, let the man of God you sent to us come again and teach us how to bring up the boy who is to be born.' God heard Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman while she was out in the field, but her husband Manoah was not with her. The woman hurried to tell her husband, 'He's here, the man who appeared to me the other day.' Manoah got up and followed his wife. When he came to the man, he said, 'Are you the one who talked to my wife?' 'I am,' he said. So Manoah asked him, 'When your words are fulfilled, what is to be the rule for the boy's life and work?' The angel of the Lord answered, 'Your wife must do all that I have told her. She must not eat anything that comes from the grapevine, nor drink any wine or other fermented drink, nor eat anything unclean. She must do everything I have commanded her.' Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, 'We would like you to stay until we prepare a young goat for you.' The angel of the Lord replied, 'Even though you detain me, I will not eat any of your food, but if you prepare a burnt offering, offer it to the Lord.' Manoah did not realize that it was the angel of the Lord. When Manoah inquired of the angel of the Lord, 'What is your name?' Sorry, I gotta flip my page. 'So that we may honor you when your word comes true,' he replied, 'Why do you ask my name? It is beyond understanding.' Then Manoah took a young goat together with the grain offering and sacrificed it on a rock to the Lord. And the Lord did an amazing thing while Manoah and his wife watched. As the flame blazed up from their altar toward heaven, the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame. Seeing this, Manoah and his wife fell with their faces to the ground. When the angel of the Lord did not show himself again to Manoah and his wife, Manoah realized that it was the angel of the Lord. 'We are doomed to die,' he said to his wife. 'We have seen God.' But his wife answered, 'If the Lord had meant to kill us, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and grain offering from our hands, nor shown us all these things, and now told us this.' And the woman gave birth to a boy and named him Samson. He grew, and the Lord blessed him, and the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him while he was in Mahanadan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. And we get to chapter 14, called Samson's Marriage. Samson went down to Timnah and saw there a young Philistine woman. When he returned, he said to his father and mother, "I have seen a Philistine woman in Timnah. Now get her for me as my wife." There goes that Bible dating game again. His father and mother replied, "Isn't there an acceptable woman among your relatives or among all our people? Must you go to the uncircumcised Philistines to get a wife?" But Samson said to his father, "Get her for me. She's the right one for me." His parents did not know that this was from the Lord, who was seeking an occasion to confront the Philistines, for at that time they were ruling over Israel. Samson went down to Timnah together with his father and mother. As they approached the vineyards of Timnah, suddenly a young lion came roaring toward him. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him in power, so that he tore the lion apart with his bare hands, as he might have torn a young goat. But he told neither his father nor his mother what he had done. Then he went down and talked with the woman, and he liked her. Some time later, when he went back to marry her, he turned aside to look at the lion's carcass. In it was a swarm of bees and some honey, which he scooped out with his hands and ate as he went along. When he rejoined his parents, he gave them some, and they too ate it. But he did not tell them that he had taken the honey from the lion's carcass. Now his father went down to see the woman, and Samson made a feast there, as was customary for bridegrooms. When he appeared, he was given 30 companions. "Let me tell you a riddle," Samson said to them. "If you can give me the answer within 7 days of the feast, I will give you 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. If you can't tell me the answer, you must give me 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes." "Tell us your riddle," they said. "Let's hear it," he replied. "Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet." For 3 days they could not give the answer. On the 4th day, is this like a Noah Susek riddle? Ha ha. On the 4th day, they said to Samson's wife, "Coax your husband into explaining the riddle for us, or we will burn you and your father's household to death. Did you invite us here to rob us?" And Samson's wife threw herself on him, sobbing, "You hate me. You don't really love me. You've given my people a riddle, but you haven't told me the answer." "I haven't even explained it to my father or mother," he replied, "so why should I explain it to you?" She cried the whole 7 days of the feast. So on the 7th day he finally told her, because she continued to press him. She in turn explained the riddle to her people. Before sunset on the 7th day, the men of the town said to him, "What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion?" Samson said to them, "If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle." Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon him in power, and he went down to Ashkelon, struck down 30 of their men, stripped them of their belongings, and gave their clothes to those who had explained the riddle. Burning with anger, he went up to his father's house, and Samson's wife was given to the friend who had attended him at his wedding. Ay, ay, ay. I have pictured in my head little, we have little Samson, and we don't know the wife's name. We don't know many of these wives' names. They're just known as, the man and his wife, Manoah and his wife, Samson and his wife, no name. Samson's mother and father. Can you just see it? Like this whole dating thing. He wants to marry this Philistine woman. His parents are like, "Can't you find somebody else? It's a Philistine." And can you see Samson like crushing a lion with his bare hands? Like we know the Bible story that Samson is strong, but can you just see it? And then he goes back down to the carcass and he sees the bees and he just picks up a handful of honey and licks the honey off of his fingers. Whoa, what a Bible story. And anyway, this is going to continue on for chapters 15 and 16. We'll read that tomorrow. And you'll see what happens to Samson. It's not good. But but it's an interesting Bible story, and we pull out similarities in our life here in 2020 about being strong enough. Here we are in a pandemic, and for a few more days, we are being told to shelter in place and to take precautions and stay at home, and how that has maybe made us stronger. Has it made you stronger? Has it made you change? Has anything changed in the last 2 months with you staying at home? Do you find yourself acting in a different way? Something to think about. So there we have chapters 13 and 14, the beginning of Samson's story, and we will continue on with that tomorrow. Don't forget to answer my questions. Bye.